So I have an unscripted yap here today where we're going to be talking about kind of a situation that I'm kind of going through here. Needed some advice. Probably not even going to get any advice in the time I'm needed, but yeah, here it goes. I've been working at life insurance here for about a year now. I started January 2025. That was kind of when I started there, and actually I got promoted pretty quickly over at that company. I think it was less than 6 months. It was at July time actually where I did get promoted. Now with that promotion, I got to the point to where I'm running a team. So if you're not familiar with kind of like the structure of like life insurance sales and kind of how all that works, it's basically you learn the craft of sales, you get the whole process of how you pitch somebody, how you close somebody, just you get the trade down of how to do the sale. And then with that, based on the company I was working for Globe Life. Based off that, that's where you go and build your own team. You have the ability to build your own team, build passive income, build your bonus, all that type of stuff. Of course, that shit sounds amazing. Sounds too good to be true, and it isn't. I'll say it's not too good to be true. You just have to work so fucking hard. And I've been working for the past year and a half-ish at this point. I got promoted again to a GA position in the company, so now my team are creating teams for themselves. And with that, that comes with even more responsibility. And honestly, I have so much time I'm dealing with these other people, helping them out, getting their craft right. I don't solo produce as much. I don't have as much time to solo produce, run my own sales, get my own bag right. Now, with that being said, my team, they are not really good yet. I've trained them, I've gotten them up to be knowing the craft, but they haven't really been able to execute what they've learned, basically. So from that, they've known a good bit, but they're not producing any business. So this leaves me in a kind of position where I cannot take a step back from like producing myself because I have to pour into my people or they're not going to do something. And if I'm doing that, I'm not getting money in my pocket because I'm not personal producing. So as you're seeing, there's kind of like a little bit of push and pull with that kind of organization, that kind of style of business. And I think big issue for me was I didn't have any capital built before coming into this. So this is kind of like any other business that you're building. It does require a good bit of risk to start. I started with zero capital. I was pretty sure I was like in the negatives in debt, actually. I think it was like $1,000 in debt. So, capital, having that to like lean on in that phase is very, very important. And that was kind of a big mistake I did. I didn't have anything to be able to lean on in that time of my learning. And then by the time I learned, got the craft down, actually, I took a very long time to get it down. I think wasn't until like March when I was dropping business consistently. So at that point, I'm sitting at around 3K in debt because I had to, go into more debt to be able to, get that taken care of. Now, fast forward to today, I've got my team. I've got one leader who's pretty decent, but his team is kind of bad. He has a terrible team. His team doesn't produce. His team has no structure or any type like that. So with that, I'm kind of I'm helping him out where I can, helping him grow, but most of his team at this point has fallen off. And I think he has about 2 people. I'm just getting him to re-update another wave of people, of kind of hiring and training and all that type of stuff. So he's kind of like looking out the door as well. So I could potentially lose him. That's my right-hand man in business. And then my left-hand man, I recruited 4 or 5 months ago. He's pretty decent. He's actually getting momentum rolling in the right direction, but I don't know if it's going to be fast enough. He hasn't really seen the results that, can be possible. I mean, he hasn't had the best production luck or anything like that. The thing is, when I'm in the field running appointments with them, we're closing deals. But when I get my hands off the brakes, when I get my hands off the wheel, hey, take the wheel, learn something here. It's like the shit starts to hit the fan. I'm not getting paid. They're not getting paid. And now I'm at the position, my team is potentially going to be falling off, all of them. Like my whole entire team is potentially going to end up falling off here. And I think I'm going to be able to salvage it, but I'm 2 years into the business, over a year and a half. so almost 2 years. It's August time, and I've really been only net negative since April of this year. Now, before April, I had good retention, so I had terrible retention issues. I didn't know how to any of the back end of the business worked until about like February of this year. So I've been having to also cover my ass on my back end of my business. There was a point where I lost out on my advances, so I wasn't even getting paid on my deals. I got that back after I got my retention back up. At the moment, I still don't have my bonus or my passive income checks. Now, if I had my retention right, I had that good, then, I'd be able to, this would be a different discussion. I'd be able to just keep on just pushing people and just keep on sacrificing to be able to get my team to where it is off the passive check. But I haven't been able to because I don't have a type of like fall off option on, hey, I'm not producing, I still have money coming in. And that's really what's been the biggest issue for me as of recently. Trying to get people paid under myself when I'm not around, which if that doesn't happen, they're going to fall off, as I said. So with that, I have another group of people who have been helping me out, but they're not even my team. They've been getting me paid, but they've been my whole lifeline at this point. I have a third team that's not mine, but I'm borrowing it because I trained them up to that position. Been my lifeline up to this point. I'd be homeless if it wasn't for that. And I'm very, very grateful that my boss even let me have him, because he was supposed to just not be part of my own. And if that was the case, I'd be homeless right now. So, I mean, it's not that it's a bad business. It's a great business. I'm in a very rough period in the said business, kind of looking for anything I need to do or any type of advice to get me out of the rut here. I've had a couple 10K months in the past, but I didn't reinvest it in the best way possible. I reinvested it on like team trips and stuff versus reinvesting in the business and recruiting in my people and getting them AIs and that type of stuff, which would have been way better. But I kind of got peer pressured into going into team trips and stuff, which is different discussion there, which some sales teams do. But after that, I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm not going to any of your trips. I'm running my business my own way, kind of all that type of stuff. So we've been kind of coordinating it like that. It hasn't worked the best so far. Like I said, we've lost a good bit of people, and we're, revamping for the next wave. But even my leaders have been kind of skeptical of it, and even pointing myself to being skeptical. I haven't thought of a different job or a different career in a year, in like 5 months at the very least. Like a very long time, over a year for sure. But now I'm at a position where I'm running out of time. I don't have the money to keep me afloat and the business afloat for much longer. And I'm going to push hella hard here to get myself out of this position, of course. So I'm going to be grinding, put my head down, writing some business if need be. But I fear that when I do write up the business that I'm going to lose my people. So I wanted to tell you guys of my backup plan if kind of the shit were to hit the fan on the business and I have to pull the plug on life insurance. So what my plan is that I'm going to go back into security if I have to. If I have to go back to security overnight, that's easy money. I'm literally sitting there, and I'm going to spend that time sitting there to learn more about other alternatives and just get myself back in order, stack capital, just get all that stuff in order so I could reinvest it into other stuff. Been doing a lot of research on FBA Amazon. I think that's probably one of the biggest things that I'll be digging into. When I still had capital, when I used to be in security, and I did invest, I was actually good in the stock markets and crypto and all that type of stuff. I was a winning trader with that. So, just need to get everything back in order now. Best case scenario, life insurance business, my people start popping, I pop off this week, everything's saved basically. And I pray that's what happens in this instance, because if it doesn't, then I'm going to be cooked. But I learned something very critical. Even if I don't end up parting ways with the life insurance company, it's that I do need to diversify and not have all of my eggs in one basket. So regardless of if I'm working at this life insurance or way down the line when it comes to security, if that fails in the life insurance department, then I'm still going to do Amazon FBA regardless. I think that's going to be my goal there, just to get into Amazon, get that all rolling in that regard. I think that's going to be another thing that could help out, throw into crypto and all that type of stuff. So Like, it's not like failure or nothing like that. I don't want to say it's like a failure, but this is kind of like a checkpoint I wanted to kind of have and present of like, yo, there's kind of something going on. Nothing is all as good as it seems. I mean, you guys see me running the YouTube channel acting like, your friendly neighborhood creepy Uncle Lester, but sometimes I struggle too. Financially, and very experimentative on what I'm going to be doing here. Kind of just laying the groundwork of plans on scenario A versus scenario B, and kind of getting all my contingencies ready. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to share with you guys. Kind of just an update here. I know it's a little bit of a late upload. Probably not going to be much overlays. Been not as much heavy into YouTube. I'm just kind of posting what I can and getting the videos out when I have the ability to. But if you guys enjoyed this, I know this is a lot more serious of a tone, a lot more real world, a lot more personable with the creepy Uncle Lester. But if you guys appreciate, your creepy Uncle Lester, hit me up, like, comment, subscribe, do anything like that. I'm still going to be continuing to do this regardless of what goes on. This is more of like a passion project for me, so I'm going to be continuing to grind out on this. But yeah, if you guys like this, just be sure you guys like it, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.